Welcome to Up to the Minute. It's Tuesday, August the 4th of 2020. I'm Todd Duplantis. Glad to have you with us this morning. We've got a packed show today. Your HCC news and information, the things you need to know are coming up for the next half hour, right here on Facebook Live. Joining me today, two co-hosts, Brittany Pacheco and Frank Cooper. Good morning to you both.
Hey, good morning, Todd. Good morning, Frank. Before we really get into it, just want to say a very happy birthday to my husband, John. And he's a twin, so happy birthday to my brother-in-law, Rufino. Welcome to being the same age again.
Well, happy birthday to them both. And I'm sure they're both watching right now. I'm recording the show because we want everyone to watch the show and to share it too, right, Brittany?
Absolutely, Todd. Frank, since you're joining us today, why don't you tell them how they can share this podcast, but also follow us on social media.
Yes, ma'am. So after all, hello, Todd. Hello, Brittany. YouTube, please subscribe to the notification bell. Just hit the bell on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. So just follow us on there, man, and let's grow the show, guys and gals.
That's right. We're going to get moving forward with the show. Frank and Brittany, stick around. We'll have more from both of you later on. But we've got two special guests today. Timothy Pfeiffer is the Insurance Program Coordinator with HCC's Business Center of Excellence. And you're based out at HCC Northeast. Good morning, Timothy.
Good morning, Todd. How are you?
We're good. Now, we are going to be with you in just a moment. But first, we promoted this yesterday. We've got a very special guest, one of our own from HCCTV. In fact, he works for the Stafford METV station. He's also one of HCC's first drone instructors. We're talking about a gentleman we've nicknamed the Drone Ranger. I'm talking about Don Wells. Good morning, Don.
Good morning, Todd.
Well, Drone Ranger, that's a name we kind of gave you because you're one of the first drone professors. Now, I know you and I talked about your working, and you had to get certified to become a drone pilot. You did that a few years ago, and now the drone program for HCC has taken off.
Oh, yes, it has. We're teaching a course right now on how to get certified to become a professional drone pilot.
That's pretty cool, Don. Now, of course, the drone program, drones are really everywhere nowadays, and they're being used for things you wouldn't even think they would be used on. Tell us, we know we can use them here in the television world, but tell us all the other applications and things where drones can be used.
Well, in the television world and in film as well, it's getting to where you just can't see anything on TV or in the movies that doesn't have drone video in it. So that's very true. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. Drones are used in public safety, for search and rescue, for documenting crime scenes, accident investigations. Firefighters use them to sense whether a fire is completely out with an infrared camera. Real estate, it's used in real estate for showing how properties, both residential and commercial, that are for sale. It's used in construction for monitoring the progress of construction and then sending that information to stakeholders who might be out of the city or out of the state or even out of the country. They use it for 3D mapping, transportation, inspecting infrastructure, railroads, pipelines, electrical grid. Just about anything you can think of can be done better and more efficiently with a drone.
Well, let me ask you this, Don, because here's the gray area. I can go on Amazon right now and order a drone, and I can also even walk into a mall and buy a small drone that I can fly around my house. But your program it teaches drone operator responsibility. And there's a lot more than going on Amazon, picking out a drone, and then just getting started with your business.
Oh, you couldn't be more right about that, because really the drone operator's primary responsibility is to operate the aircraft safely. you got to know the rules in order to be able to do that. Just as there are traffic rules for drivers on the roads, there are rules for drone operators flying their aircraft in the skies. And that's why the drone certification is so important. If you want to be a professional drone pilot, so you want to earn money flying drones, you have to have that certification, and that's from the Federal Aviation Administration. So you've got to be able to get that certification. That requires passing a test, and the test goes over the different things that a drone pilot has to know to perform their tasks safely in the air. You gotta know those rules. You gotta know not to fly over people or traffic. You've got to know not to fly at night. You've got to know how to keep your drone in sight at all times while you're flying it, where you're allowed to fly, how high you're allowed to fly. All of that stuff has to be uppermost in your mind when you're operating your drone to keep everybody safe.
Well, Don, you talked about certifications. Is it as simple as getting a short-term certification to be a drone pilot, or is it going to take, how long would one spend in the courses? Let's say I have no experience with drones, but I want to fly one professionally, want to turn it into a career. What are the certifications I can take, and how long is the program?
The class that we teach to prepare for that FAA exam is 8 weeks, 4 hours a week. So that's 32-hour class. And after that, you would go to a FAA licensed testing center and take the test and become certified. When you're in that class, you're going to learn all the stuff you need to know. You're going to learn about the regulations regarding airspace. You're going to learn how to read sectional charts, which is essentially a map of the sky. You're going to learn safety and emergency procedures, weather information, loading and performance for drones, and aeronautical decision making, airport operations, everything that the FAA wants you to know to be successful as a drone pilot. You're going to learn in our course.
Don, I know you've been doing this for a few years with your drone training and getting certified, now being an instructor, and also carrying on your duties out at Stafford METV as well. We'll talk more about that in a second. But tell me, how has the drone technology changed in just a few short years? Have the drones gotten smaller? Have they been able to reach a wider range? Is there more technology involved in flying these? What changes have you seen?
Oh, there have been dramatic changes, and not only in the size of drones, but how long they can fly on a single battery, the sophistication of the electronics within them that keeps them stable, that keeps them receiving GPS information, all of that stuff. There's been a dramatic expansion of drone capabilities over the years.
Let me ask you this. I'm a TV news junkie, as you are as well. We all watch a lot of television news. Many of us have had a previous life in TV news. I still see a mixture of pilots flying real helicopters over news scenes and traffic scenes. How far are we away from the newsrooms just having a guy in the newsroom or a lady in the newsroom flying these drones to cover television news with the traffic situation? How far are we away from that?
Oh, I don't know how long it'll take to get there, but we've certainly seen penetration in that area. There are fewer and fewer television stations that are employing helicopter pilots and incurring the expenses of aircraft insurance and aircraft maintenance and fuel and all of that stuff, when it's so much more convenient, it's so much faster and easier and cheaper to put a drone up in the air and get similar quality and similar capability for just vastly less money.
Don, let me ask you this. Your program, as all of us, had to go online. How have you guys been dealing with the instruction online and being able to work with your students?
Well, it was quite an adjustment. I was used to teaching this class, like I say, 8 weeks, 4 hours a week, face to face. And I had to transition to teaching all of that online. which has been an adjustment. But I think that the students have soldiered on through, and we're getting it done, and they're learning what they need to get certified. So I feel as though it's been a really good transition. By the way, our next class will begin on September 5th, and the following class will begin on October 31st.
And folks can sign up for those classes now?
Yes, I believe they can.
All right. Don, real quickly before you go, tell folks what you do out at the Stafford METV station and how long you've been out there.
Oh, gosh. The city of Stafford owns a municipal educational cable channel called Stafford METV, and they contract with the college to operate that channel. And I've been out there since the very beginning. In January, that'll be 24 years, so quite a while.
Wow.
Stafford is a really unique and remarkable city, kind of nestled in between Houston and Sugar Land and Missouri City. They attract high-tech businesses, and yet they really keep a small town feel, and it's neat to work there.
Well, Don, we are excited to have you on board, and especially playing the role of the drone ranger in our drone instruction program. We appreciate you being here and telling us about that today.
Thank you for having me, Todd. I've enjoyed it.
Thanks, Don. We'll see you shortly, I'm sure.
Oh, you bet.
All right, we're going to move. We're going to move across town out of Stafford, moving on to Tim Pfeiffer. Some folks may not realize that HCC has an insurance program. It's part of our Business Center of Excellence. Tim, tell us about this program and a little bit about what you do out there.
Good morning, Todd. It's interesting you had Don on because insurance is using drones quite a bit for their claims process. Where, in the past, somebody would have to come out, say you had hail damage or wind damage on your roof, and someone would have to physically climb up on your roof, walk around, very dangerous. So now drones are coming in and they can inspect the roof much faster, much better results. They can measure the roof, they can use GPS. It's really a fantastic new technology.
It really is, and I'm glad you pointed that out because it just shows another avenue that drones can be used for much more efficiently than, as you mentioned, putting somebody physically up on that roof and taking a lot more risk.
Absolutely. As for the insurance specialist program, it was developed to help students that want to become insurance sales agents. And we structured the program so that a student is able to complete the program in one semester. We call it one and done. Everything is available online. We started that in 2018. So we were fortunate. We were ahead of the curve as far as the online program. We'll see this fall, as far as face-to-face, they're talking about what they call a flex schedule, whereby you can either choose to show up in person or you would go online at that scheduled time. But the majority of our classes are online.
Let me ask you this, because a lot of folks in this age of COVID are looking to find a job where they can be entrepreneurs, start their own business. It seems like selling insurance would be a prime way of starting your own business, especially if you're looking for some job security and want to work for yourself.
Yes, it is. And many of the companies are going to home-based as opposed to having agents come into an office or salespeople or claims representatives. They're able to work from home. And the nice thing with social media, you can, if you're a sales agent, you can contact all your customers, future customers. You can market to find new prospects all online. So it's a great industry that has, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, it's going to be one of the fastest growing industries in the next 10 years.
Well, it could be because we've got an aging population. We talk about that on the show. A lot of us are hoping to retire one day sooner rather than later. And we've got a few, maybe a decade or so left of us in work. And a lot of populations heading that way. So insurance, it seems like life insurance and all that is going to be on the rise as far as people wanting to buy it.
Yes, and especially if you look towards Medicare, they have a lot of, you can have Medicare supplements or Medicare Advantage. So once you turn 65, there's going to be, I think, over 80 million baby boomers retiring in the next 20 years. And you're right, that's a lot of individuals that are going to need insurance. Not to mention your auto, your home, your property insurance. The list is endless. And that's the nice thing about this business is you walk into a room and start talking to anybody, and everybody has insurance. Everybody has a need for your product. So it's a great career.
Let me ask you this. You were talking earlier about some statistics in the Bureau of Labor that you were sharing with us, but do you teach in your course some of the things that people would need to know, not necessarily about just the insurance, but setting up your own business, maybe searching for those leads online and how you would find leads? Does your program cover that as well?
Yes, there are 6 insurance classes, one on personal insurance, principles of insurance, commercial insurance. So those are the 3 classes that prepare students to take the Texas Department of Insurance exam to get their license. Then we have a sales and marketing class, to your point, that would teaches students what it's like to be an agent, how to set up your office, how to prospect, how to get leads. Then we also have a customer service representative class that some people, maybe if you don't want to go into sales, it would allow them to become a customer representative within the sales office.
Well, that was going to be another question, because sales can either you're a salesperson or you're not a salesperson. It's hard to make yourself into a salesperson. But do you find that many people may start as a customer service rep, but decide, you know what, my earning possibilities would increase tenfold if I moved over to the sales side? Do you see that happening?
Yes, because if you think about when you call your agent's office, typically it's the customer service representative that's answering the phone. They have great knowledge, and a lot of the bigger carriers, State Farm for one, are now requiring that even customer relation representatives have a license, because they're limited without a license on what they can talk about with the customers. So yes, a lot of the customer service representatives realize, hey, I really enjoy talking with people. It's not like hard sales. It's what we call relationship sales. So you're looking for your customers for life.
Do you have with your program, it's a take one and done. Is that means that you can go in for one semester, get the certifications, get your license if needed, but do you also help them find employment? One thing I've noticed, it seems like companies are always reaching out looking for people to sell life insurance or any type of insurance. Do your agents or do the folks who take your program have a hard time finding a career or getting a job in the first place?
No, fortunately, it's quite the opposite. Agents are always in search of good candidates. Part of our advisory committee, every member on our advisory committee is an agent. So they come in, they guest speak, and we offer our students opportunities to be in contact with those agents throughout the semester and when they graduate.
Do you find people taking a role as an insurance salesperson, maybe as a second career or as they're heading towards a retirement to make some extra money? Can you do this and still work another full-time job?
Yes. Now, it would depend on which agency you go to work for. They may require you, say if you went to work for State Farm or Farmers, Allstate, they may require you to work exclusively for them. But if you're an independent agent and you represent different insurance carriers, you're more than welcome to do whatever you like in your spare time. So it's a nice second income for people, a nice way to maybe transition from your previous career into this new career to run you through retirement and beyond.
What's the cost of the insurance program? I know you can be in and out of there in one semester, and it's very affordable too, correct?
It is. It's 16 semester credit hours, and it's $1,354. That's if you're in district, so if you're in the HISD district.
And are there scholarships, or can you get financial aid for this? Are there grants available? How does that work?
Financial aid is available. There are scholarships that are not insurance specific, where the last one we had has run out. There was an agent from State Farm, Jose Jimenez, and he put up a scholarship through his agency of $500, but that has been used. We're working on finding another agent to set up another scholarship for this fall.
Tim, we appreciate you joining us this morning and shedding some light on the Business Center of Excellence and the insurance program. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you, Todd.
All right, we'll see you again. And if you'd like to learn more about our Business Center of Excellence and the insurance program, we'll put some links in the social media post for this show. All right, let's get back to Brittany and Frank. We've got some announcements we're going to talk about. But one thing, Brittany, I know you're excited about this because it launched. I think they were waiting for you to return from vacation to launch this. But we're talking about the Zoom rooms for student services and advising.
I think you just like saying Zoom room. I know.
I do.
I know you want to do the Zumba Zoom room. I mean, I know you're all about that, Todd.
Zumba on Zoom.
Zumba on Zoom, exactly. So yes, while we've had our virtual lobby assisting students in all various capacities, now our student services department is launching this Zoom lobby. So this gives the opportunity for students to easily access Zoom lobbies or just make a phone call, and you will have a live either virtual face-to-face interaction or over the phone interaction. This is both for advising as well as student services Zoom room. So for information about that, we're going to put all that in this post. They have extended hours, which is great. So Monday through Thursday is 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Fridays are 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And then Saturdays, because let's face it, some people can't get to do the things that they need to do during the work week. So Saturdays are 9 a.m. to 1 p.m.
That is pretty cool. I mean, I know students, from what I'm hearing, because Indra was on our show a couple of weeks ago, a couple of weeks ago, talking about that students seem to appreciate that personal touch that they get when you call them back or answer their question. So this takes it another step further. I know, Frank, we talked about this last week, and we were talking about maybe just dropping in on their Zoom room just to say, hey.
Hey, I'm always down for a good drop in, man. A good prank call to make sure they're doing their thing.
I don't think they'd appreciate the prank call. Brittany was kind of scolding me for yesterday for talking about just popping in just to say hey with them. But I think it would be cool. Maybe we'll do that one day. We'll kind of schedule it. What I would like to do is maybe talk with the student services ahead of time, and then we can manage it to where we pop in and show students what it's going to look like in their Zoom room. So maybe we can work that out ahead of time. But either way, it's just a great way, another tool we have during this time of quarantine and lockdown to reach our students and answer their questions.
Definitely. I think it's great that we're evolving as, the situation is also evolving. So to make it easier for students, now I imagine still that there is a high volume of contacts on a daily basis. So for students who are looking for assistance, please pack some patience as the institution and all of our departments do their best to assist you in a timely manner. But because registration is underway for fall 2020, because fall semester starts on the 24th of this month, please pack some patience. It's a very, very busy time for us here at HCC.
I don't know if you guys remember, but I know when I worked out at the Southwest College, and the colleges still do this when we aren't, in a quarantine, but it seemed like the last 2 weekends leading into the fall, we would have a big event on the campuses where people could go register in person. And I know, Frank, you've been out there during those, and Brittany, you have as well. They're usually packed with folks wanting to register to get that in-person experience.
Yeah, and I think on top of that too, I think anytime you can create multiple ways of communication as far as registration outside just the proverbial phone call or online, going to a website, you can do a live Zoom call. That just increases the opportunities for us to reach out to our student bodies who want to be students here. So I think it's very, very important.
Absolutely. Some things that have changed. The first day of classes still takes place August 24th, Brittany, but there have been some changes in how those classes will go about.
Right. So staying in compliance with what the city officials are asking all of us to do, and not just HCC, but other school districts, is that we will start our semester on August 24th, but all classes will begin remotely for the first 6 weeks. I also have had some questions about the lab-based courses, if that means that they start remotely as well or not. And what I have to say to that, to everyone, is to please reach out to your instructor about that. If they will have an online component for those first 6 weeks before you're able to begin your physical classes. So on September 28th, all faculty will report to campus to prepare for their in-person classes for the following week, which is October 5th, where all flex campus and lab-based campus courses will begin in person. So once again, for all those who have questions about the lab-based courses, reach out to your instructor about any online components that they may have for the first 6 weeks that we're operating remotely.
The main thing, as we mentioned before, is just please stay flexible and have some patience. We're going through some challenging times, but we're going to make it through it one way or another. There are testing sites across Harris County and the city of Houston for COVID testing, and that includes 4 locations on HCC campuses.
Yeah, so the Southeast sites are now open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. No appointment is required at either of these locations. The Felix Crockett campus is 301 North Drennan Street, and then the East Side campus, which is 6815 Rustic. So those 2 locations are Monday through Friday, 8 to 3. And then our next two campuses is HCC Northeast Campus, which is 555 Community College Drive, and HCC South Campus, which is 1990 Airport Boulevard. Those 2 sites, their hours are from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Those are the main difference as far as the first two campuses is the 6 p.m. closing, and Monday through Saturday, the last 2.
And those require appointments as well, those last 2. So keep that in mind. We've got a convocation coming up. If you haven't attended one of our convocations, now's a great time. You don't have to leave home to do it, because this is our first virtual convocation. It's for HCC's fall convocation. The theme is We're All Connected. The registration is live right now. You can register for convocation if you're faculty or staff. It runs through Monday, August 17th. The website address can be found in the post of this show, but it is hccs.edu/convocation. We also got some faculty and staff virtual coffee breaks as well.
Yeah, that's right, Todd. Sorry, I've been having a coughing fit over here.
Oh, that's all right. We understand.
But this morning at 11 a.m., virtual coffee breaks with Janet May will have Sean Admishi, the Dean of Digital and Information Technology Center of Excellence, and Acting Dean for the Advanced Manufacturing COE. Man, he's got a lot going on right now.
He certainly does. Brittany, go ahead and get some more water. We'll take over for you. Also, Thursday, August the 6th, Timur Sever, who's the Dean of Mathematics, grab a cup of coffee and join Janet May and her guests to learn how to adapt to a remote working environment. Also, get some questions answered. If you've got a question, you can certainly have the question answered in their format. Check your emails to register. Just search for virtual coffee breaks. Frank, weekly information sessions are happening through August, and you have to attend one of these if you want to take classes in the fall.
Exactly, Todd. Our very next session is tomorrow, August 5th. It'll be from 2 to 3 p.m. this Wednesday. Offering health through admissions, testing, orientation, financial aid, and all the other good stuff. So to register or find out about these dates or future sessions, go to hccs.edu/information sessions.
Well, that about wraps up the show for today. Brittany, are you feeling better? You know, sometimes I got to admit, when I have the allergy thing going, I'll have points, and it's happened during the show before, where my throat literally locks up and I can't talk.
That's what was pretty much happening.
You went through that too?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. But I'm back. I'm going to power through. It's going to be all right. But for tomorrow's show, we're going to have a couple of guests. One is our very own Chief Cunningham, who joins us weekly for his Wednesday wrap up, which for me, Todd, as you know, I'm always excited to have Chief on, because that just means we're halfway through the work week.
You know, you said that to him, and I think he was a little, he kind of felt slighted there, because the Chief is a special appearance, but for you, it just means we're in the middle of the week. We're halfway to the weekend.
Hey, listen, I like consistency. I appreciate the fact that he's on every Wednesday, unless he's playing hooky, which is okay.
Yeah.
And, it's a good association. I enjoy seeing Chief. I like talking to Chief, but I also like the fact that it's Wednesday. So.
That's right. He's like that guiding star, always has the week planned out for us. And we know we can always expect him on Wednesdays. So he's going to be there tomorrow. And we've also got Karen Rainey, who's an EMS faculty member for the Public Safety Center of Excellence. She'll be joining us, talk to us about that program. And also they also have a single semester certificate. We'll talk more about that tomorrow. Frank, I know you'll be back later this week as well.
I will be Friday. This coming up Friday, I will make my triumphant return. So thank you so much for having me today, guys.
Yeah, well, we're going to talk sports on Friday, so get ready for that because I'm thinking baseball. They're going to call it quits any day now. I have a feeling that's going to happen, Frank.
13 more positive cases, man, for the Cardinals yesterday, man.
Yeah.
It's not looking good.
It's scary times, yeah. So we'll talk about that on Friday. It's always good to discuss sports with Frank. Thank you all for joining us. Brittany, I hope you're feeling better.
Thanks, Todd. I'll power through as best as I can. But thank you, everyone, for joining us today on Up to the Minute. Be sure to like us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Don't forget about YouTube. And don't forget to share this podcast.
All right. Thank you all. We'll see you tomorrow live at 10 a.m. on Up to the Minute.